Paimon coming in! Paimon coming in! Is this level okay? Can you hear Paimon?
Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye.
The neighboring nation of Liyue has the most prosperous climate in all of Tibet. It's been getting quite busy recently.
Haven't you heard? There's a strange wanderer near Wolf.
Don't trust your eyes uncritically. People only see what they want to. So don't be your own fool.
Today's recommendation.
Haven't you?
How can I help you?
Emotions are like a raging torrent that surges through the mind. More often than not, if you try to hold them back, you'll be...
Oh! It's from the Tone Deaf Bard!
Today's recommendation.
Apparently, he wants to hear all about our adventures in Nodcry. Maybe we can get some tasty treats out of him and...
Ah, welcome back, old friend. And how should I be addressing you these days? The honorary knight of Mondstadt?
Wow! You sure have your finger on the pulse. We've
News travels fast on the wind. But before I can turn your tales into tunes, my wine and my lyre are at the ready. So please, traveler, take a seat. Amazing! Incredible! The Rahier of Solnari and the Doctor? So I'm guessing the Wild Hunt is a thing of the past now that you've defeated the Rahier of Solnari.
Seems that way. We were kind of focused on dealing with the Doctor, though.
Well, that's good to hear. Hey, now that the Northern Abyss calamity is finally resolved, Varka, I haven't seen him in the longest time. He must have so...
Hooray! Paimon was wondering about that, too. He did call you Barbados.
Let's call it half asleep. I was resting my eyes in the Thousand Winds Temple one day when I heard a commotion outside. It was a young knight who had journeyed there in search of trials and oracles after hearing some tall tales at the look. In fact, all that awaited him were moss-covered walls and an angry ruin guard. But he seemed completely unfazed, laughing heartily as he sent the ruin guard's missiles flying off into the horizons.
Huh! They must have been making quite a racket if it was enough to wake up the
Yeah, it sounded kinda like.
Hey! Oh, bring it on!
Like that.
Giving up already? You're not half as tough as Varka said.
A young knight of adventure. Now there's a sight I haven't.
A bard in green clothes. I was just wondering how I was gonna try.
Oh! So you were looking for the tone-deaf bard? Strange place to start your search.
Hold on. Blonde hair, white hair. You must be the. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lowen, vice captain of the 5th Company of the Knights of.
Oh, so you're part of the expedition, huh? Right. So that's why Paimon's never seen you around in Mondstadt.
That's probably because when the Wild Hunt was still running rampant, I spent most of my time out on. Then, once the Wild Hunt calmed down, I got sent back to Mondstadt.
No wonder we never saw you while we were dealing with the doctor. So, why did Varkas...
Deliver some letters. There's one for the Knights of Favonius, one for the church, another for the...
Jeez! How many people has he sent to deliver his mail now? Mika, Inefa, Lowen. In fact, he's earned himself a new nickname.
I'll have you know that poetry and letters were human. So, tone deaf or not, I wear the title of Bard with pride. And I can.
Wait, really? Darn it!
Anyway, since this young man has come all the way to the Thousand Winds Temple looking for him.
You sure are.
This one is for the bard in green clothes. These days, I think he goes by. Doesn't really have an address as such. You could start.
I figured that since there was this punching bag here. Oh, sorry. Ruin Guard.
That Varka is so slapdash sometimes. It's a good...
Oh, he also said to remind you to write.
Nothing in particular. Just some idle chatter between two drinks. Varka gave you a whole bunch of letters to deliver, right?
My thoughts exactly. Assuming I can.
Well, why don't we have Mondstadt's honorary knight escort this homeward bound wanderer to the city?
Let's go! It's been a...
Thank you so much, honorary knight. And.
The abyss. Get home safe, Varka.
Surely there's no way anyone found the secret stash of cash in my office. That would be terrible.
Grandmaster, bad time to get distracted.
Watch out! Enemies approaching!
Huh? Oh, it's just a few This expedition is almost over. We just need to deal with these final... We will make our triumphant return!
Stormwind! Maria sweeping in!
Without the Rahier of Solnari to direct them, it seems like all that's left is their primal urge to destroy.
If this is all that the Wild Hunt can muster now, surely the Lightkeepers of Nodcry will be able—
Just like I thought.
Grandmaster, based on Lightkeeper intel and our own reconnaissance, one of the—
Good. You know the drill. Stay here and stand—
Yes, Grandmaster!
We meet again, Andrias.
So, you've returned from Mondstadt. Don't you want to see what it looks like now? I was planning to take a look around there myself. Perhaps you could be my guide.
What's this? An echo from 1,000 years ago? Everything seems normal so far. Here's hoping I'm just overthinking things. There are two... It's your turn, my friend. Come, Andreas!
Although, for returning to your old home, perhaps
Boreas.
Huh?
Injustice. Corruption. Iniquity. Is the surface world still as wretched and foul as ever? Answer me, heir to the knighthood of Boreas.
Looks like I'm not getting out of this without a fight. That's where things stand with the expedition. The victors will... P.S. I hope everyone's keeping up with their daily training. P.P.S. I wrote individual letters for each and every one of you. Don't forget to write back.
Everyone gets one? Wow!
I guess the Grand Master must have something specific. Even I got a letter, and I'm not a real knight yet.
Jean? Oh, yes. That's our Grand Master.
By the way, anyone know where I can find the cavalry captain?
You mean Kaya? He said he was meeting a friend from the church at the Angel Share. Allegedly for work. Said he was exchanging intel. But I'd say there's a 50-50 chance he's just there for a drink.
Hi, Mom Bess. There'll be lots of familiar faces there. How about we...
Really? Oh, that would be a great help.
Our thanks to you too, Lowen. The other knights will help to...
Great. But I won't be resting just yet. I heard that another challenger recently passed Boreas' trial. Well, with any luck, that
Very well, but...
I will. Goodbye.
Grandmaster offered lots of advice in his letter regarding my recent assessments. I didn't think he'd spare a thought for that kind of thing in the... So, on... He wants to test me to see if my skills have regressed? I still haven't forgotten how he went easy on me last time. I'm assuming you must have seen him going all out before.
Ah, the Grand Master. The archives are filled with documents awaiting his review. I'm not letting him run off again until he's... On another note, have you spoken to Jean?
Okay, we'll deliver these letters to the Adventurers Guild and the Cat's Tail. You can just handle the ones for the...
The expedition is finally wrapping up.
Honorary Knight, you're still here?
Huh? But Vark is coming back.
True.
From what you and Lowen have told me, it seems that Mondstadt no longer faces any threat from the and yet, for some reason...
If I don't make it back from this expedition, you'll have to assume the mantle of Grand... If it comes to that. Remember, I've planted some promising seeds in Mondstadt, but some have yet to master the art of social interaction. Some don't yet understand that they, too, need protecting. And some... well, some might not even want to be a knight yet. What's wrong? Well, there's no need to frown. I'm going on an expedition until I return. I leave them...
The lineage of the Knights of Boreas has nearly been extinguished twice in Mondstadt's history. The first wandering knight to claim the title arrived in Mondstadt 1,000 years ago. He was as free as the wind. He left no succession plan behind. Even his name was lost. But he had an informal disciple, a knight named Ravenwood, who admired the Knight of Boreas. When the old aristocracy tried to regain power, Ravenwood came one—
Wolf spirit? You mean...
Correct. As you may already know, the Wolf of the North is— and the Knight of Boreas serves as an intermediary between him and Lupus Boreas, who had never known what it meant to love, came to understand. This was once a well-known tale in Mondstadt, but these days, few people are aware that this—
Huh?
The Great Wolf King of the North came here from Nodcry. Although he doesn't— As such, this tale can only be found deep within the night. The Grand Master didn't disclose any concrete objectives before departing on his expedition. I kept my speculations to myself, however. Sharing them would only spread— You experienced the turmoil caused by Dvalin, the East Wind's actions for yourself. Surely you can understand my—
No wonder Varga wasn't clear about his motives.
Very possibly. He was probably also reserving judgment. And as it turns out, the Calamity born in the north wasn't an ancient god, but rather the Wild Hunt and the Doctor. I guess we were both jumping to conclusions. Yes, I completely agree. The Tide can't— Even if his contingency plan never needs to be put into action, I'm sure the Grand Master is—
The Grand Master wrote in his letter that the Boom Blossom bombs we sent worked really well. He wants to know if we've made any more.
Uncle Varga's coming home? Into a pretty long conversation, huh? We should probably go deliver those letters to the angels.
When you're mixing drinks in hot weather, start by pouring in cold water and add ice cubes. Then drain out the water before adding the other ingredients. How's that for a secret recipe? Maybe it's worth a little intel in return.
Please. I've known that little trick for a good 10 years at least. You'll have—
I know there's no one else in the tavern right now, but do you two really need to talk so—
You.
Looks like it's about to—
A little liveliness never killed anyone.
Please allow me to once again express my sincere condolences regarding your late father and the incident with— I hope you will give some serious consideration to the question I asked you before I left, though I'm sure you're tired of hearing me ask—
From the look on your face, I'm guessing—
He nags like an old man. It's hardly surprising.
Huh? Drop what?
Nothing, really. Before leaving, he asked me if I'd consider rejoining the Knights of Favonius. And I declined.
Yeah, right. Sounds like you skipped a lot of details.
Whatever details I chose to omit are in the past. Dragging the...
You say that now, but back then, you couldn't let it...
I wasn't seeing the full picture, but my answer remains unchanged. Both the Grandmaster and the acting Grandmaster are... I can't see the shadows that lurk beneath them due to the size of the organization they lead. They need someone on the out...
If I had a Mora for every time I've heard you repeat that argument.
When you join an organization, you're bound by its rules, no matter how free it may seem on...
You think so? Never mind the Knights. Have you...
Good question. Have you considered that maybe that's why...
Are they arguing or not? It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, kind of like the contingencies Jean was talking about.
My reply won't be a long one, as usual.
What should I report back to the Grandmaster? Public order inside the city? Monster activity in the wild? Oh.
If you hadn't had to deliver that guy's mail, you wouldn't have been subjected to all this tedious arguing. When I write back, I'll tell him to quit making trouble for other people.
It's no trouble. Lowen did most of the work. We just volunteered to do the last leg of the journey.
So you see what's really going on here? All three of us fell for that old...
Huh? Scheme?
No. While I'm sure Varka knows full well that Diluc would never agree to rejoin the Knights, I believe there are people like Kaya and I. And then there are those who are true champions of justice to the core. Those... Not only that, but it happened to a Knight of Boreas. That'll really hit home for Varka. And that's why his nagging is even more persistent than usual. Yeah. So no one's told you this before? The lineage of the Knights of Boreas had nearly been extinguished.
Oh! Wasn't Jean telling us about this?
I happened to hear about it from Varka once when he was drinking and started yammering on. Although the Knights of Boreas are meant to be intermediaries between humans and wolves, in practice, very few of them have been true. Of those who have, the best known are the first Knight of Boreas, Raven. But 500 years ago, there was one who earned the respect of Boreas even before gaining the title. He was a disciple of Rostam. They thought he was the perfect knight. Righteous, principled. His name was Roland, the blood-stained knight.
Yikes! Bloodstained Knight?
Well, apparently his original title was the White, but he lost countless comrades during the Abyssal Calamity 500 years ago. And the endless bloodshed stained his sword and armor a crimson as deep as black. After that, he threw himself completely into battling monsters. It's hard to say whether the loss of an important figure in his life is what drove him, but had he known that the Knights of Favonius would always welcome him. So if you want my opinion, the reason why Varka keeps asking Diluc to rejoin, despite... After all these years, he's...
Huh. Turns out Varka's a lot more thoughtful than he lets on. Anyway, there's still something about this whole Boreas business. If so, why did Jean say that Boreas and the Wandering Knight only arrived here just 1,000 years ago? That's a great idea! Jean said he hasn't been showing himself much lately, but he always...
this.
A moonlit night for all. Here!
With one heart, we can I the truth.
Oh, are you all right? Oh no!
Stop right there! Answer me this. The 2 letters I gave you, who are they for?
2 letters? Wasn't it
Okay. Well, Paimon's coolest naive expression doesn't appear to be an act.
Hey! What are you trying to say? Paimon passed a test? Really?
You may dispense with your suspicions. The wolf pack has...
Well, if the boss of Wolvendom has vouched for you, I guess I should apologize for doubting you just now. Sure was. Fortunately, my experience in Nodcry didn't go to waste. Turns out the wild... Something seems wrong with that old...
Lupus Boreas, not injured. Why so...
You are not to blame. With your iron they followed my trail from the distant north across the ley lines. They sought to corrupt... We meet again, human Lupical.
So, are you saying...
As you know, I stand before you as an incomplete... The source of this turmoil.
Huh? Now Paimon's even more confused.
For many gods, housing a part of their soul within an object is no difficult feat. But those who can perform such delicate partitions as this are rare, even among the gods. The Wolf King, Andrius, was particularly adept in this art. Otherwise, no remnants of his soul.
Huh? The bard's back?
Tondif Bard?
Maybe the god of Anemo guided me here. For it appears that someone who better than a bard to do the honors? Lord Boreas?
As you wish.
Lupus Boreas wandered the frozen tundra and stumbled into the Seelie Hall. Enchanted by their song, tender as the dawn starlight, and curious about the ways of humankind, the wolf bade farewell to his home. And as the high tower crumbled and the fierce winds fell silent, Lupus Boreas, who once had hunted with the storm winds himself, looked. The wolf entrusted those under his protection to a new god and quietly returned to the frozen north. There, in a palace long since abandoned, 500 bitter winters passed, then 500 equally frigid springs. He slumbered undisturbed until a knight stumbled in from the cold. Just as Lupus Boreas, the knight asked the wolf to join him on a journey south, to see once more the land that had all but faded from his seeing how the ice and snow had given way to verdant plains, hearing the laughter and song that now... So, this is the world the humans dreamed of. Though the knight's journey was not yet over, the wolf chose to bid farewell to his companion. He had written the end to his story. What knowledge he had been gifted flowed into the land. Well, that's how a bard would tell the tale. Lord Boreas...
There is no need for you to ask that question.
So that's what happened. You returned to Mondstadt with that knight 1,000 years ago, and then, for the sake of the new Mondstadt, you...
You need not feel remorse on my account. If anyone should feel regret, It is the part of me that is surely why those vile aberrations.
But we followed Boreas' trail in Nodcry.
Andrea should still be slumbering by the lakeside. And there's more. I detect another familiar scent from across.
Oh, the White Knight who became the Bloodstained Knight? The mightiest knight of Boreas? But wasn't he...
I remember him as just a man. His lifespan should be no longer than any other of his kind. It was the ancient kingdom of Conria, as you...
If you want to get to the bottom of this, I'm afraid you'll have, as luck would have it, another old friend of ours just so happens to be free right now.
No wonder I can suddenly sense the East Wind's presence.
If even Mondstadt has been affected by the fallout, Nodcry must be in real trouble by now. I hope Varka can handle it.
Varka is...
I believe too many passengers would slow our dear friend down. I fear he only has room to carry one person, along with perhaps a diminutive companion.
Alright, wish it could be me, but I accept that we should send our... I'll stay here and deal with any wild hunt that try harassing Mondstadt.
I stay in Mondstadt too. With Traveler's help.
Razor, give me... Golden-haired traveler, give this token to the current Knight of Boreas. It is a wolf spirit. It contains my power and thought.
The Dominator of Wolves once bestowed the power of his soul upon his pack, strengthening their hearts and sharpening their claws.
But human hearts and flesh cannot bear the soul of a wolf directly. To prevent the entanglement of souls, the most I can... Although, truth be told, that knight does not lack for power. What he needs more is that the Great Wolf King of the North remains strong for now.
I will protect Lupercal.
Just give me the word whenever you're ready. Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. You'll probably... The root of this turmoil lies with the remnant soul that He once left Nodcry and braved the blizzards to confront the god of storms and claim the right to rule. Instead, he returned to the north and slumbered for 1,000 years, before when the wolf spirit could no longer maintain his physical form. Boreas chose... Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. 500 years ago, Roland seemed destined to become the mightiest. He believed firmly in his own ideals of chivalry, vowing to eliminate all injustice. Neither his mentor, the wolf pup Rostam, nor the Grand Master, known as the Lion of... But what was the scent that reeks of blood that Lupus Boreas sensed? Any questions before you set off? The soul of a wolf is as unyielding as ice, and Andreas is a master of molding and shaping, but human hearts and flesh cannot contain the soul of a god. That's why Lupus Boreas developed the technique of imbuing weapons with his soul. In fact, there's an ancient song that tells this tale. A weapon once of common iron, now through friendship turned divine. Twixt man and wolf, a bond was... As much as he might claim not to accept. Any questions before you set off? All right, over to you, Dvalin!
The Knight of Boreas awaits below. We must part ways here. Barbatos and I have other plans. We will meet you again later.
All right. Hey, wait. How are we getting down?
Hold the line! The enemy's on the brink of collapse!
Grandmaster! It's...
reinforcements! It's about time!
And Paimon too!
We're just about hanging in there. Most of their grunts are taken care of now. Fight or flight? What will it be?
As expected, this hastily summoned Wild Hunt horde, but they have served their purpose. I now understand your tactics, and you, farewell, heir to the knighthood of Boreas. Whether you choose...
Guess they're retreating.
So that Wolf of the North lookalike, that was Andreas? But, forget that. We can save the details for later.
There's no point chasing after him. We've crossed blades already, and it ended in a stalemate. Right now, there's nothing we could do about him. True. We're still not certain of his true identity. Killing him might be just about possible. The difficult part is, we can't kill him right—
Huh?
No. Judging from our skirmishes so far. But, compared to Rerir, our current foe clearly has a better understanding of how to Exactly. I managed to cut off a sample from our foe, which Albedo and Durin are analyzing as we speak. Meanwhile, we still have some big challenges ahead.
The meeting's probably gonna be in the biggest tent, right? Looks like a bunch of...
Hey, good to see you. She went to see Lauma and Columbina at the Frostmoon Scions.
That means the recent Wild Hunt attacks have nothing to do with Rerir, right? Whew, that's a relief.
They're keeping a close watch on it, just in case. With so many moon experts... Oh yeah, Lauma and Columbina asked me to pass on a message too. You know something? These Knights of Favonius are
Short distance propulsion module on cooldown. 15 minutes until next departure. Switching to chat mode. Hello there. Varko placed a sizable order with the Clink Clink Krumkake craft shop. I know it's hard at work Secondly, I am also here.
Huh? Flins! Paimon thought the Lightkeeper's rep will be...
You're quite right. However, Itlua and Nikita are both busy organizing the Ratniki's region-wide and since I'm well acquainted with everyone else here, I was the one they recommended to attend the meeting. Sometimes you don't get a choice when there might be consequences down the line.
Hey, Honorary Knight. Looks like Albedo and Durin are just wrapping up their analysis. You want to wait for them here? Great. While we're waiting... And that's where things stand. The Wild Hunt is no longer under the Reikir of Solnari's control. Intel from the Frostmoon Scions and the Curatorium of Secrets corroborates this. Notice...
Summarizing current situation. To confirm, the present...
More precisely, it's the external will...
Whoa. Hold on. How'd he suddenly get wrapped up with a god from 1,000 years in the past?
Allow us to explain that part. Are you familiar with compensation mechanisms? When an organism sustains... For example, when one kidney is damaged, the other will be strengthened to compensate. Or, similarly, when the Wild Hunt lost their leader, the Abyss harnessed the memories that flow throughout the ley lines to fashion. That new leader is a mirror image of Roland, the Bloodstained Knight.
Right. No matter how strong the compensation is, the Roland replica can't possibly imitate Rerir's overwhelming power. So, the Abyss made use of the connection between Roland and Boreas to compensate.
The replica corrupted and took control of Andreas as he slumbered by the bank of Amsvartnir. However, exactly why the Abyss chose Roland to mimic?
I guess he must have gotten caught up with the Abyss or Nodkrais.
Okay, Paimon gets all that, but what did you mean when you said we...
We can't kill him right now because a dead god may prove more from intelligence gathered during the expedition. We have reason to believe that the power released when a god is felled can have catastrophic consequences for us mortals. Worse still, the wrath that remains after a god's passing becomes a source of endless turmoil. Once god remains contaminate the land, they will persist for thousands. This land has already been ravaged by the Wild Hunt. If we add god...
Query. While I can indeed find records of disasters caused by in that land, the passing of the Pyro Archon's flame is a common occurrence throughout history.
Great question. Glad you asked. Honorary Knight, you said Lupus Boreas gave you a token to pass on to me? Come forth, Boreas!
This form has come to the end of its time. My soul will fall into silence, and my power will flow. Do not grieve for me, for this is the end I have chosen. A final wish before I slumber.
You saw it too. You must have keen powers of perception. Not that it surprises me. That was Boreas' final thoughts before merging with the ley lines. It's the reason Mondstadt remains unharmed. In his final moments, he made a choice to give everything he was to the ley line.
Sounds like Andrea spent thousands of years searching for his...
Yes. And now our task is to return the answer. Only then can he break free from the corruption and control of the Abyss, and make that decision once more.
I see. I would say that planting thoughts and...
Wait, we already have a perfect solution?
Ha ha ha. If only it were that simple. Unfortunately, we need to find a way to make the thought within this sword...
For now, Boreas needs all his remaining strength to fight against the Abyssal... However, since his form was unstable during his journey with the first Knight of Boreas, if we can collect those fragments, we can use them to strengthen his...
So we need to retrace his steps and look for random...
You don't need to worry about that. Most of them are already inside this sword. I've been collecting...
Huh? Wait.
I mean, it's an expedition, not a stroll in the park. Each step of the way, not just the Wild Hunt and the Abyss, but ancient gods remaining in Nodcry.
Sounds like this plan was a long time in the make.
As a matter of fact, I did. I caught a glimpse of fate's reflection. But I can't take credit for it. It was all thanks to the help of a... Still, all I foresaw was that an abyssal calamity was brewing in the north. Had I known more, we could have saved a lot of energy. Instead, we've had to make best guesses, prepare for every possible scenario. If all... Sure is. Just one crucial step remains. We need to gather... According to what Boreas told me before we left Mondstadt, his form was at its most unstable, but of course, we've been tied up fighting battles since the day we set foot in Nodcry.
Okay, so 3 more mini...
I managed to gather one fragment before Roland reappeared. I also have a confirmed location for the second. As for the third fragment, we've identified a general search area to focus on. The final snag is that since our foe is a replica of Roland,
With our foe being from Mondstadt...
And since the Wild Hunt is involved.
The Clink Clink Krumkake craft shop will all...
So what do they need me here for? Wait, I think maybe I signed a contract at some...
Ah, great. Knew I could count on you all. Lastly, our friend from the Curatorium of Secrets.
So, you'll be darting back and forth across the battlefield.
Rating for Yehoda updated. Higher quality ingredients will be used to prepare your future meals.
I'll deal with the second Wolf Spirit fragment, which we already know the location of. The Traveler? Could you join me in retrieving Fragment 2? I have a feeling that your unique constitution... All right, time is of the essence. Let's move out, people. Dismissed!
Fragment 2 was supposed to be right here? Where the heck is it?
Seems like we've run into a slight hindrance. Can I leave this to you, Honorary Knight? Traveler, Paimon, when this is all over, I'm gonna invite you around for a drink of...
Whoa, whoa! Stop thinking about Mondstadt's wine and keep your head in the game! You can't be daydreaming about alcohol before a battle!
Huh? Well, all right, just trying to lift our spirits a little. You want to see some photos I took of me and the knights before the expedition, maybe?
Shut up, shut up, shut up! Can't we please just focus on finding the wolf spirit fragment? Is this what we're looking for?
I once got Boreas to explain to me how he stores his soul inside objects. All I need to do is transfer it to my sword. Just like back at the camp, but this time, you'd best step back.
So, you're saying you don't know how to love people, and you don't understand human love either. Sorry, I just think the fact you're ruminating on this is all the proof you need that you have love in your heart. I have a funny feeling that by the time this journey ends...
No, you're wrong. There is no redemption at the end of this path. Even if I am stained black with blood, my conscience will remain as white as snow. If pledging allegiance to the Abyss is the only way to sever the injustice of fate, then I shall serve in its name.
Oh, sure enough, this place has been corrupted by Roland's will. Whew. I'm fine. I was prepared for this. We got here just in time. The fragment hasn't been fully corrupted yet. Assuming we can undo the damage, it should still be usable. Purifying the abyssal corruption would... Could you try reversing the corruption? Not...
So, keep the rope...
Firstly, to test whether it's possible. And secondly, to view Roland's memories. As they say, know that. Let me think. How was it explained to me? Ah, yes. Focus on a single thought within the 1,000 winds. Capture that unique Ha 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 ha! Actually, neither do I.
Huh. Sounds like something a certain tone-deaf bard would come up with when he can't.
I thought it might mean something to you. Never mind. I'll explain it in more human terms. Traveler, when you were in Natland, you went fishing for ancient names, correct? If I'm not mistaken, the Night Kingdom was like a river.
Okay, but back then, we had a boat and a net. This time?
This wolf spirit fragment is like a puddle compared to the Night Kingdom. No need for a boat. As for a net...
Thoughts and emotions are like interwoven threads. They can create a net, or they can create a rope. They can separate love from hatred. Thought is the anchor for a being's existence, through which emotions are drawn forth.
Also, we barely know anything about Roland.
Well, maybe you could try this.
What is it? It looks old and...
It's an unsent letter, written by the wolf pup Rostam, Knight of Boreas, from 500 years ago. It was meant for his disciple. After Rostam lost his life in the Abyssal Calamity, Roland left Mondstadt to but trying to track Roland down was like chasing a shadow. He never did find him.
Quite the antique, then. But... Hey! What happened to Mr. Plant?
Now, what can I say? Some people like to wait till they've got all their ducks in a row before taking the first step. But anyway, don't they say that poetry and letters were humanity's earliest means of expressing their thoughts? Can't hurt to give it a try, surely. Whoa.
You really are making this up as you go along.
So the assimilation of souls really can be reversed. Just like he said.
If what you say is the monsters I've slain, the justice I have sought to uphold, a great and ancient kingdom was wrongfully... The code of chivalry tolerates not such injustice. If Abyss be thy name, I pledge...
And that is where the blood-stained knight's tale came to an end. With that, he bade his humanity farewell. I dare say you must find it quite...
That I, Dainsleif, while we gazed into the past, he was gazing right back at us. Could it be? So that's what happened. After leaving Mondstadt and wandering the land, once he had learned of Conria's fate, he saw the gods' judgment as the greatest and just, giving them his knowledge, his power, his everything.
Uh-oh. Does this mean we have to take...
I'm inclined to agree. If our enemy could see the future, but even without the Visionary's input, Roland still... Every minion of the Wild Hunt serves as Roland's eyes and ears. We need to... And on that note, I have a plan I want to discuss with you. Well, the fewer people who know, the less... That about covers it. Sorry, no plan is free of risks. At least this one actually gives us a shot at fully eliminating the... If I fail, Anselm and Albedo can take the reins.
Oh, there has to be another way!
If only there were. But I don't think our enemy will give us enough time to find one. Ah, Yehoda. Yes, we've successfully retrieved the wolf spirit fragment here.
Nope. It's a total disaster.
Come on, we're out of time. You'll just have to trust me on this one. What can I say? I'm not the Grand Master for nothing. I'm counting on you. Fill me in. What's the situation?
We ran into resistance almost as soon as we set off. Albedo said we should...
Good call. Locating the wolf spirit fragment is our key objective.
Well, it seems the enemy figured as much before we ran into trouble. This is the search area we decided on. The two teams are holed up here and here. They should have a clear idea of the...
But the Wild Hunt is stopping them from relaying messages back, right? Do we have any more troops available to provide back?
We can't spare troops from any of the fronts right...
The logistics company is standing by.
Hanefa!
Designated drop point reached. Initiating, the logistics company was assisting Aino with the production of the strategic reserve. But after learning of the situation on the front line...
Amazing. Just in the...
Hey, seeing as you can fly and all...
I regret to say that without the workshop's catapult, and with my short-distance propulsion module on cooldown, I will only be... The logistics company has very limited provisions, only enough for a single battle. Which team should they support?
Both. Once one team has been rescued, the remaining forces will be free to support the other. We'll move out immediately.
It's the Wild Hunt! Come on, let's go help!
Something's not right. The Wild Hunt's offensive doesn't seem to be... Don't get dragged into the enemy's rhythm. Logistics company, scout...
Yes, sir! Reporting in, sir. We've identified via...
Good. Wait for my signal.
Logistics company, deploy!
Grandmaster! Honorary Knight! Thank goodness you're here!
Be careful. There's no end to these monsters. However many we kill, more keep coming.
Well, they're about to get a shock to the system. We'll wipe them out faster than they can replenish their numbers. We just have to hold on until the logistics company is ready. Is that the signal to say they're ready?
Yes, sir!
Ready? Fire! The enemy has sustained heavy casualties. Use this time to catch your breath and film...
Yes, sir. We've narrowed down the search area for the final fragment.
That's not exactly very...
We split the search area between us and the Retniki.
Either way, I was about to go lend them a hand next anyway.
Absolutely. Good.
We've run right through our supplies. We'll stay here and deal with any wild hunt that tries to stage a comeback. Now that they've lost their numerical advantage, they're no match for us.
Ugh. Looks like the same situation here.
Reinforcements. Hey, you keep them busy while we work on getting rid of this god-awful mist.
Understood. Everyone got that?
Yes, sir!
Got a bit too cocky. Up the ante! Hey, they're running out of steam. Now's your chance.
Affirmative. Sorry to keep you waiting.
That's their source. It was hidden in the mist. If we destroy that, the Wild Hunt won't be able to summon any more reinforcements.
Knights of Favonius! Charge!
Huh? Ooh, I'm glad that's finally...
Brave Knights, on behalf of the Lightkeepers, I thank...
There's no need to be so formal. When it comes to the Abyss...
Very well. We've narrowed down the search area for the final fragment to this zone here.
Yes! Now it feels like we're fun.
I'll say. We're sure to face fierce resistance from the...
It would be our...
Much obliged. All right. The hiding in the mist trick again. These guys... You all know the drill. The Knights of Favonius will...
Yes, sir!
Lightkeeper, prepare to dispel the mist.
Maria sweeping in! Knights of Favonius, charge! Up the ante! Up the ante! Time to counterattack! Maria sweeping in!
On me.
Up the ante! Up the ante! Rally to the Grandmaster! Charge! Up the ante!
Ugh, this Wild Hunt doesn't know when... Traveler!
Mr. Varka,
just like last time. Only...
Don't underestimate us, Grandmaster. We can hold our own.
Ha! That's the spirit. Stay on your toes and make the Knights of Favonius proud. Either we all march back to Mondstadt together... fragment is right there. Don't let me down.
It seems you have come.
Yeah, and with no corrupted fragments or ambushes along the way. I have...
A true knight does not resort to underhanded tactics. Were this body not a false one created? If you need a moment to rest, take it.
Save your breath. If you want to fight, let's fight!
As you wish. Then let us set...
Is everyone all right?
My granny fights better than these rookies.
Hey, stay put, you guys. Leave the rest to us.
Forget us.
You're the only one still standing.
We can't lose our Varka! Please!
You're holding back, Knight of Boreas. I can tell this duel does no justice to the way of chivalry. Your plan is doomed to fail. How can a helpless lamb... Andrias's question, Boreas's answer. The means to the false path may be wide and welcoming. It's over. Your sword lies shattered. The wolf spirit and the thoughts you blindly placed your faith in have nowhere left to dwell. Join me and pledge your allegiance to the Abyss, Knight of Boreas.
For the next part, it's over Outlander who comp... The sword is looks like I'm no longer in reality. There's no way back. Huh. Guess the... A Favonius sword? Who left this here?
Lonely warrior. Take me to see him.
No matter the epoch, the world is awash with corruption and injustice. I have aided the oppressed and righted many wrongs. I have slain sinners and delinquents. I have slaughtered tyrants and demons. But however mighty one's blade, for the great injustice of fate, a mere mortal can but bow their head. There is only one way to save them.
Who are you really trying to convince? Huh?
Stormwind! Maria sweeping in!
Yeah.
Stormwind!
Is this the fairest shadow? It doesn't look like an imitation.
The title of Boreas must find an heir.
Try to keep up! The scent that reeks of blood appears to be getting stronger. Looks like I can just jump right over these obstacles.
No matter the epoch, the world is awash with corruption and injustice. Even the most fearless hero cannot fight what fate has ordained. And even the holiest god cannot escape the shackles that bind them. Lupus Boreas, if you still harbor love for humanity, then you must surely know. There has only ever been one way to save them from injustice. Surrender to the Abyss.
Malicious lies!
Yeah.
Stormwind! Yard!
Huh?
Stormwind! Boreas sweeping in! On me!
Huh?
My old friend.
This is not where your path ends. You must continue on.
On me! This wind feels less than welcoming. I'd better take shelter.
Here.
On me! I can't hide from it!
You must deliver it.
Your path cannot end here. You draw near to the heart of the wolf.
Even if you had an army of 10,000 men, in the end, you must face this fight alone. Lonely warrior. Step forward.
Is this the heart of the wolf?
Roland!
After countless bloody battles, trials, tribulations, and hardships, I, with my mortal flesh and blade, attained power to rival that of the gods. But you know better than I that a mortal's prime is fleeting. In 5 years, maybe 10, age will snatch your strength. The power you take such pride in will fade to naught, disappearing like dust in the wind. Your fame will be as fleeting as firewood beneath the starry sky, lit at dusk, dead by dawn. Utterly insignificant.
Oh yeah? Be that as it may, the fires that burn down here blaze more brilliantly than the light of 1,000 stars.
They blaze for but a moment. 100 years from now, your earthly flame will be long snuffed out. And those you once illuminated will be left cowering in the cold and empty night.
Ha! No. They'll remember me in 100 years, just as I remember all of you from centuries ago. That's the thing about firewood. From the embers of a dying flame, a new fire arises, burning bigger and brighter than ever before.
A knight's duty is to save others, not demand things from them. How can one call themselves a knight while placing their hopes in generations to come?
Well, as long as I put an end to you here and now, I won't need to rely on anyone else. Now, show yourself, Roland!
Put an end to me? Your body and mind are already at the limit of what they can bear. It is only a matter of time before they yield and crumble. But if this is your final request... I shall do...
Huh. You're not quite how I imagined.
Not once have I strayed from the righteous path. But when I look at you, I do not...
I guess we have that much in common. Neither of us...
The Rayhir of Solnari's forces have been defeated. I wield the power that Roland did at his peak. Therefore, after redeeming you from injustice, and guiding your surrender to the Abyss, I shall
Huh. The world out there can bear no more of your torment. Your obsession
No words can make a knight doubt his convictions. No, otherwise, why would you pin all your... But now the blade that once housed the wolf spirit has been shattered. You no longer have the means to change the situation. And no...
Maybe you're partly right. But I think I might just have a shot at a rescue.
What do you mean?
There's only one person's mind I need to change, and it isn't yours. Forgetting where we are? Andreas! Can you hear? Wake up! You!
If this is your final gambit, grand displays of heartfelt wishes. Return. Return to...
Is this the end? Andreas, at long last. On behalf of all humanity, I thank you, Lord of
Boreas. He's returning to the ley lines.
Begging for miracles is a futile endeavor. I know better than that. But a sword is just one kind of vessel. There are other ways to store a soul.
The Dominator of Wolves once bestowed the power of his soul upon his pack. Strength.
Even if it is not my intention, the soul of Lupus...
If a mortal heart is to bear the soul of a god, this is a path that cannot be retraced.
Your heart, your soul...
You were wondering how a lamb could tame the heart of a wolf, isn't that right? Here's my answer. You get the wolf.
The wolf spirit within the sword was merely a decoy. The true, to avoid arousing my suspicion. You deliberately allow Lupus Boreas...
Compared to Lupus Boreas'
You have a stubborn will, and employed and accept. Your soul is now merged with that of Andrea. Neither Barbatos nor the Traveler will be able to anchor your soul from within the... You have lost, and so have I. Regrettably, I can no longer... May your soul rest in peace with Boreas. Lonely wolf.
Haha! Lonely? Sorry to The fact is that, unlike the true Roland, I'm not ready to accept my fate just yet.
Ding dong! You've got mail!
Until I return, I leave them in your care. The Knights of Favonius will always welcome you. Come on, to Mondstadt.
Dear Grandmaster.
To Varka. To Varka.
Family.
No pig call.
Poetry and letters were humanity's earliest means of expressing their thoughts. Make sure they all get delivered, Outlander who caught the wind.
Grandmaster.
Master.
Varka.
Uncle Varka! He's the right to us!
For Varka.
The thoughts of others anchor you, reversing the assimilation. Using your connections, relying on outside help. This is not the way of a knight. The Abyss can sustain me no longer. But now, countless souls who died unjustly will emerge to prevent your return. If you believe in your path, then grant them release. Carve your way out through bloodshed. Varka, mightiest knight of Boreas.
This is how it ends. Throw the plan out of the window. Fight my way to victory. Well, that suits me just fine!
A knight is always true to their word. So please, keep your promise and return victorious.
You are not alone.
Right back at you, Varka.
The north wind blows southward. May it guide you on your journey home.
Leave it all to me.
Here. On me. Freeze! Can't fall here.
There's an ice-cold drink with your name on it. Ready when you are.
Don't go dying in a place like this, Varka.
On me.
Fly home to us, Grandmaster.
Spread your wings and soar toward a new dawn.
Fate's chosen Robocop.
That's I can't fall here. Fianti! Maria sweeping in! Fianti! Fianti! On me. One final battle!
Walk forward and do not look back.
Varka, now I know the meaning of my name.
After the lengths you've made everyone go for you, you'd better make sure to thank us all properly when you get back.
You know, I have a lot of things to update you on. But they can wait until you're back.
I have no intention of returning to the Knights of Favonius. But I trust you will find a way to manage on your own.
Grand Master. We're all waiting for you.
Oh. I'm not doing too bad a job as Grandmaster, am I? I'll take that silence as your approval. Everything you swore to protect with your lives, it's all still here, safe and sound. The Knights of Favonius, Mondstadt, and the oath sworn by every knight. I'll protect them all with my life. And so, I'll deliver that letter on your behalf. I know it's just a shadow of the real Roland, but if you have the time, could you please read it for him? Rostam and Arundel, they never forgot you. Phew. This has been one long expedition. From here on out, I think I'll let the wind lead. Hey everyone, it's been a month. I'm thrilled to see you all.
Welcome back, Grandmaster.
Yeah, I'm home. It's been a while since I felt this wind on my face. Just how I remember. So, is there the sword was just a decoy. I carried his soul. The second half, though, using everyone's thoughts to
All jokes aside, what would you have done if the Traveler hadn't been able to separate...
Initially, I was planning to have Barbatos carry out that step. Turns out our trust was not Then, I guess we'd have had to get Barbatos to send a wind to blow me back home. But it would have come at a heavy price, and with no guarantee of success. It's a good question. A glass of the finest...
You're dreaming if you think it would have come that...
It's been a while since I felt this wind on my face. My future. You may... Correct. Although, as things stand now, still, after I've tied up some loose ends with the Knights of Favonius. Besides, the first group of knights who volunteered to stay there have yet to be relieved of their duty. How could I simply abandon them?
Ah, how noble. But, man... Wait,
I'm only pulling your leg. It's been a while since I felt this wind on my face. All right, then. I'm gonna stay...
Astra. Thank you for
thiếu 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 nhiều vậy bay, thiếu nhiều quá. Phải đi làm sách chính nghĩa hả? Sách chính nghĩa là 36, thứ ba thứ sáu, ok. Hôm nay nè. Rồi. Xã gì vậy?
Ancient alchemy, truly.
That's weird. Jean said this is where the event is supposed to be, but there's nothing here. Oh yeah, now that you mention it, that sure brings back memories. Kinda nostalgic, really. Even after all this time, this place hasn't changed one bit. Workers getting on. Well, we still need to find Jean and the others. Yeah. Paimon remembers there used to be hydro slime hiding here, but it's gotta be gone now, right? Whoa! A fungus? Are those supposed to be a monster? Not that these are a real threat to us at this point, but still!
Hear that? They said this isn't hard enough. Should I grab a geofishing for the next round then?
Is this really the time to get competitive? Did you hear that, Paimon?
Lê với lại
Hear what?
Must have been my imagination then.
Huh? Why did someone hang Jumpy Dumpty? What? But they don't look alike. You can't even eat. Not a lot of people come here, but a bomb's still a bomb. If someone gets hurt, yeah. But let's take a picture with the camera before we take them down. First the fungus, and now this. If it turns out not to be event-related, it'll be good to have a record of what we found. You couldn't just compliment Paimon's smarts like a regular person. But anyway, it never hurts to be careful. We've seen through lots of tricks, but we've also gotten the short end of the stick. Paimon, come on. Let's get that picture taken. Then, get... Fireworks! Guess there was no danger after all. Were those meant to welcome us or something? Anyway, we should be good here. Let's get going. Huh. What was it Paimon said back then? Ah, right! Oh, wow! though. It seems like there's something different about it. Let's take a closer look. Huh. Paimon's next line was...
As we all know...
Right! Poetry and language flow like the wind! Look! There really is something wrong with the Statue of the Seven! It's fish! But it's so light! Huh. Wonder what? Okay, Paimon's sure of it now. This can't be for an event. No one in their right mind would replace that huge Statue of the Seven with a statue of Klee! Yeah. And well, but that's not the point! You're not weirded out by this? Oh, you're right. She could put 100 Klee statues all around Mondstadt and Paimon still... That explains the other weird stuff we saw up till now, too. She must have asked Jean to write that letter so we'd lower our guard. No, wait. Maybe that was Alice just pretending. Yeah. The surprises were nice, and this statue is pretty cool. Plus, we got to take a little trip down memory lane. What do we do now, though? There's nobody around. If this is some sort of elaborate prank, guess we're in it until the people behind... Huh? What does that mean? Oh, yeah. Guess all there's left to do is touch... Maybe it'll give you the power of Pyro or something!
Từ nãy giờ xài một tuần á.
The world opens itself before...
Surprises. Good guessing on your part. Let's keep going and see what else we find.
Go now.
Yes, now or it'll be too late.
There's something huge in the sky.
Okay. We all remember what Paimon said back then. Anyway, since he's here, that must mean we're about to meet another old friend in these woods. Then, Dvalin was tainted by the Abyss, and Tone Deaf Bard was about to heal his wounds. But your control over Animo wasn't so great, so... But you've had tons of practice since then, so...
Kiếm cái quần cho tao đổi thì ghê quá à. Kiếm quần ấy đổi quá nhục quá à. Quê quá à. Quê quá à.
Well, this is awkward. You really hung Paimon out to dry there, traveler.
Apologies. You were just even livelier than I remembered. And
Which means mission accomplished on the surprise front, I suppose.
Oh, yes, indeed. That was fantastic.
Huh! So you were
Wanted to... Welcome to Mondstadt, you two.
lovely to see you, dearies. So what's the verdict? Did our...
It was very... you, that's for sure. Paimon can't... Where'd you move the real statue of the Seven anyway?
Oh, gracious me. You still haven't figured it out. If I had actually done something to that statue, I would have been locked up in the teensy room next door by now.
So...
Now you're asked...
The answer lies over here.
Nicole! You're here too?
That's right. Our two lovely mages are here on vacation. In fact, everything... But I'll leave the explanations to Miss Nicole.
Yep.
This bubble is a new kind of magic Alice and I invented. When you were busy reading that invitation to Mondstadt, Alice took the opportunity...
Oh! We didn't even know...
I wouldn't be much of a...
All that to say, the things you saw weren't real. They only except for Venti and Dvalin, of course.
It's not every day you get to relive the beginning of your journey. You might not remember the name or melody, and still, you start humming along. I'm assuming your trip down memory lane was similarly nostalgic.
So does Jean know about this or not?
Oh, no. Jean wrote that herself, I assure you. I wouldn't dare forge a letter under her...
Huh.
Not with my daughter in her clutches. If you ever become a mother, you'll...
Oh, come on! It's not like she's...
The point is, this magical bubble was created at with the expedition in Nodcry coming to an end. The Knights will be home...
Varka thinks it's better to give people time to reunite with their families. So, of course, Jean has her own thoughts on...
As things stand, we're keeping the reception small. But this magic bubble is one of them. The returning Knights can use it to catch up on all the major...
Simply put, it's a reenactment of your...
Indeed. The ultimate goal is for everyone to have a chance to take...
So, what about the parts that took us...
Oh, those were there because the bubble world is still being Memories are easy to extract. If memories are the only thing used to recreate... For example, these memories belong to Venti. But not to mention, on their own, memories lack an interactive component. So I added some self-deduct...
Yeah.
For instance, say we're recording memories and Lisa happens to fly into a fury over some overdue library books. A powerful thunderstorm might unfold in the bubble. Luckily, there's a simple solution. We just have to send someone to scout things out first. Then...
Exactly. Plus, once the recording is complete, the magic will loop. So... and before it's all said and done, we'll be sure to cover up...
Much appreciated. Otherwise, buying around it...
Like you're the one...
It's settled then. We'll allow you to be the first to relive these precious memories. And in return, you'll be our...
Yeah, but it sounds like fun. Besides, we already
Oh, no, Paimon.
What?
As the creator of this world, I'm afforded a bit of creative license, I would think. Creating this bubble was no easy task.
I doubt anyone will mind.
Oh, well. Paimon can't...
In that case, we'll be counting...
It's still early. Why not check out the...
Yeah, we'll go say hi.
I think nothing of it.
Yes, good work.
Hey, Jean! We're here!
Honorary Knight, Paimon, did you have a good time in Alice's magic bubble?
Yeah, it was so cool!
I'll be sure not to spoil it then. I loved the idea when Alice brought it up, but I knew it would take a great deal of reenact. Luckily, Venti, or rather, Lord Barbatos, agreed to help. After that, I opened up recruit. Countless volunteers jumped at the chance to reenact your... A lot of people have gotten involved, and that includes quite a...
Are you one of them?
Yes, according to Alice.
Yeah! There are
Well, such are the duties of for those of us who have been holding down the fort, so to the Grandmaster contacted me and said not to organize a grand reception on their behalf, and I understand where I'm sure the team will be exhausted upon returning and making a big fuss.
Paimon sensing a butt in.
Yes, well, those of us here in Mondstadt have been awaiting their return. Resuming normal life after such a long expedition will be, not to mention, it's a chance for the people to show them no matter how long we've been apart, we're still. Yes, absolutely. And I don't.
So?
Here, I'll show you. First, this is an arena we've set up to showcase Favonius blade work. The cavalry company is in charge of this one.
Ooh, that means we'll get to see Kaya.
That's right. Compared to me, he's much better at.
Here is Mattis.
Over here, we're running a wind glider speed shooting event. It's not hard to guess who's in charge of this one, I'm sure. Yes, her gliding skills are top-notch, and she's quite creative when it comes. There's also a booth that will serve as a reception area where people can relax. Hertha is in charge of the drink stall, but we're still working on the menu.
Well, the more alcohol options, the better, I think. The expedition team likes the strong stuff.
Fair point. Huh?
What's with that?
Grandmaster, you're back? Well, apologies, we're not quite done with the preparations, but—
Hey. Relax, Jean, relax. Besides, I knew you'd want to surprise us, no matter what I said.
Oh.
If I didn't tell you to put on the brakes, I knew you'd go full throttle and start planning the next Ludi Harpastum or Windbloom Festival. You put so much pressure on yourself, diving headfirst into the deep.
Oh, wow.
Well, looking out for my fellow. As for the event, food, drink, and fun in spades without too much.
That's far too kind,
I mean it, you know? Just trust my judgment. Now that I'm finally back in my old stomping grounds, let me treat you to a meal.
Ooh, nice!
Actually, Grandmaster, there's a few things perhaps we could go back to headquarters.
Hang on, you know this is just.
Of course. Still, you.
Oh, you have no idea what this means. I'll be trapped in the office until.
It's not that dramatic. If we make haste, we'll.
As much as Paimon wants to check out that secret menu.
All right. Guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Hello there, Honorary Knight and the Helper in White.
It's so nice to meet you, Honorary Knight and Lady Paimon.
Looks like you're in a good mood, Hertha. By the looks of things.
Indeed. Thanks to some help. Besides all the classics, we also make
Cocktail. Do you remember that time we served as bartenders at the Angel Share? And recently...
The only thing is, but I need to get back to handling Honorary Knight. If
You'll be amply compensated, of course, plus double pay for overtime, depending on your performance metrics.
Paimon's not sure what as the best guide into that.
I'll do my best to support Lady Paimon.
All right. Well, if you're ready to...
Oh my. It looks like Hertha has gone back to her duties, and Glenfiddia is away some... Wonderful. Now I can order without worrying about ending up with one of the logistics company's specials. The type of drink that keeps you awake all night, leaving you no choice but to pass... That's right. I'm just a care... If only there weren't so many people with overdue books, and I didn't have to go door to door to get them back. I would... Let me think. I don't really have a favorite drink. And if it could help me nod off to sleep later.
Here's a snow-kissed dawn.
It's delicious, cutie. Pleasantly tart, sweet, but not cloying. If anything, though, I seem to be Perhaps you've unwittingly unraveled Glenfiddia's secret and concocted an even more effective pick-me-up? Don't worry, there's no rush. Let's chat for a while. Since you're asking, there's a chef, fresh out of training in Fontaine, who's recently taken up a position at the Goth Grand Hotel. She borrowed our most... Apparently, she plans to use dessert-making techniques to improve the taste of various savory dishes. Something about... Indeed. And judging by the results, she rather overdid it with the caramel sauce. Caramel sauce is such a fantastic ingredient, you know? It never fails to please... Improving food, I suppose, isn't always about... Oh, this? That was a large contingent of the expedition team will be returning to Mondstadt. Jean asked me to visit some of their families to try and get a better understanding of what new ingredients might satisfy our knight's changing Well, they've all devoted their blood, sweat, and based on what I gathered. The most requested ingredient was cacahuatl from Natlan. In their letters, many of them mention that they rely on cocoa to keep themselves energized. I've... Lately? So careful with your wording, cutie. Is that because you think that I, too, might have changed since we last met? Or simply because you can't remember? Not bad at all. Back in my student days, I might have been drawn to every new and exciting ingredient. To paraphrase a certain Leowed legal expert, my life is fast approaching a state of living out one's golden years. I'm sure you remember, a few years ago, when we were adventuring together. Well, my taste... Surely you're not suggesting I'd take this opportunity. My investigations into Mondstadt's lesser-known drinks. On my way back, I ran into Emmetall out on patrol. I accompanied her on a detour to Wolvendem to teach some raving hounds a lesson. As expected, cutie. You're...
Sáu đứa. Sáu đứa.
Finished. A new creation. This should help you fall asleep quickly and guarantee you peaceful dreams.
From the colors to the choice of glass, based purely on appearance, it's it's like savoring an exquisite dessert before I no longer feel drained of energy. I'm actually starting to feel so good, in fact, that I feel like writing an article to extol the... Speaking of lakeside strolls, why don't any walk would be more relaxing with you to talk to? Then, when we get back, you could fix me up another glass of slumbering rose. When the time comes...
Good afternoon, traveler. I didn't expect the honor of witnessing your harmonizing talents here in Mondstadt. Both, actually. A lady calling herself a mage asked me to come manage her flower shop. At about the same time, the cat's ending today's busy schedule with a drink crafted by you in person is truly a wonderful reward. I have faith.
Care to give this a try?
Your artistry is true. This tastes like a local variant of a Lumideuse Twilight. Am I right? The gentle and elegant taste, with its distinct layers combined with a hint of Mondstadt's characteristic scent, though in reality, there's no need for you to be so conservative. I have quite a high tolerance for flavors that stray out. Your drink was nice, but it would be perfect if you could make one with a little more, if you need time to mull things. Oh, thank you for asking. It's been going well, though when I first got here, I was relying on a copy of, and over to my surprise, my trial fragrance, which used Valberry as the primary note, proved far too sweet in the context of a tavern. Relaxing. Let's just say that sweetness isn't always a case of the more the merrier. Even in daily life, I rarely eat sweet food, and I try to avoid. In the end, I completely eliminated Valberry as an ingredient and turned instead to They're part of my reward from the flower shop owner. Important ingredients for I studied Mondstadt's Cecilia flowers many years ago. In fact, however, this is a special case. Some cats are quite averse to the scent of Cecilia, and we need to be particularly mindful of their preferences. Windwheel aster. The various parts of the windwheel aster plant can be ground into a powder to extract their essences. I then blended the scents from its petals and leaves. I just took it for a little trial run at the cat's tail, and the cats seemed to really like it, extracting exquisite fragrances from ordinary overlooked ingredients. Usually, after work, my friends from the Maison Gardiennage sometimes treat me to a few drinks. I usually stick to fruit tea. That if it's before a holiday and my friends are in high spirits, I sometimes order a small glass of. There was an officer named Terena who used to treat me to aged Corte wine. But since she was transferred to the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, we haven't had the chance. In the world of science, high-proof alcohol is a widely... Besides, when I'm slightly tipsy, my state of mind changes, so I don't mind drinks with just a little bit of alcohol. But... It really is. A while earlier, in such conditions, when scents are blended well, they naturally combine with the ambient context. It seems something similar is true for mix-up when mixed properly. All the ingredients work as one to create a most wonderful symphony for your taste. Yes, that's it. Just for perhaps you possess a natural talent for this.
Here you go. A new and improved Emily-inspired.
The colors are cooler, and are these bright specks on the surface the crushed petals and leaves of windwheel ass? I'm sure it must taste wonderful. Let me try. Your cocktail not only captures their form, but also therefore, I suggest you the winds and clouds of Mondstadt swirl together in the glass. Really? Now it's time to slowly savor. Thank you so much. This is the most memorable Once I get back to Fontaine, I will attempt to recreate this moment as both a fragrant once I've perfected the recipes. I hope you'll do me the honor. Until then, I look for.
Ủa trả tiền gì vậy má?
So you're looking after the drink stand. I've got to say, I wonder what kinds of drinks you can mix with the ingredients Glenfiddia has prepared. I don't have much of a choice. It's just one thing after as the captain of the reconnaissance company, I have to. So, I've been intensifying my training lately. Being a descendant of sinners means I have to work hard to maintain. Anyway, on top of all that, the General Affairs Company has invited. Since I'm one of the captains with the highest attendance rate when it comes to these things, I have to prepare thoroughly to make sure I'm a serious match for the champion duelist. And then after the exchange, I need to write at least 6 different reports based on the results. Oh, I sure could.
One twinkling starlight for Captain Eula. Hope you like it.
Judging by your confident tone, I'm certain I will. Well then. Huh. Sweet and tingly. I suddenly feel full of vim and vigor. But just one glass doesn't quite scratch the itch. How about some... Don't hold back. You don't need to worry about putting me on the floor with nothing but a couple of drinks. Works for me. The first company hasn't assigned me any paperwork for That's right. The merchant I got it from called it Romaritime Flower Fruit Extract. It has a very unique smell. Oh, it's in that book Miss Magistus lent me. The Blade Dancer, 20 years on. After a duel, a Fontanian swordsman will politely invite their defeated opponents to a banquet. To properly play host to Miss Clorinde, I searched for quite some time to locate a rare goods merchant in Dorman Port who sold this. But Amber said something that makes a lot of sense. She said that even if this custom doesn't really exist. Besides, who doesn't like trying new things, right? I'll treat Miss Clorinde to this juice at our post-training... If you want to know what I've been eating recently, I'd better start by mentioning they launched a diet improvement initiative and started distributing a form of standardized canned food. In the past, we only had dry rations. Every mealtime we had to set up pots and campfires, roll dice. Now we just need to bring our standard field rations, comprising of 5 cans and 9 paper packages. We can heat the can... You did say, sounds like... The problem is, in order to... The vice captain of the 5th company, who has a somewhat dry sense of humor. In any case, after eating it for a week, my taste buds have gone completely numb. You can hardly blame the logistics company. After all, it is hard to please everyone. Our feedback has... Of course, having fresh meals prepared in camp by a dedicated company chef is still the best option. Yes, I have. For a while, the situation there was... difficult. A gang of outlaw engineers was messing about with some... To make matters worse, several veteran knights who had been stationed at Dorman Port were transferred to my squad. And they weren't happy to be... Leading them on this mission was quite eventful. It took 3 weeks of stealth operations in the snow, with no fires to keep us warm. Those veteran knights faced the bitter cold and were almost taken down by the enemy's smuggled battle mechs. Fortunately, the battle went our way, and they had me. I'm completely fine. But it was mentally tiring for sure. But fortunately, the operation wore them down far more than it did me. If any new recruits try to make my life difficult, I'll just have my veterans give them a few friendly pointers. Oh my. Miss Clorinde's combat style comes from the mysterious Marechaussee hunters. In the library, there are some old Fontanian newspapers from hundreds of years ago. A more recent newspaper claimed that Miss Clorinde was an orphan from an underwater kingdom, and that before battle she would perform rituals inviting spirits to... Assuming these rumors are true, or that Miss Clorinde's abilities might even be more extraordinary than that, it's important that I'm prepared for anything. Incorporating elements of... I sure could do with an energy boost, but... That's right. You really know your stuff. I doubt there's anyone else...
There's no need to make it sound so fancy. It's just an aristocratic variant of Favonius bladework. In recent years, Firewaters gained popularity the world over, following in the wake of prosperous Snezhnayan merchants. You really are good. As for the alcohol content, that's not a problem. Plenty of the expedition team may have drunk themselves senseless with... Brilliant.
Here's your all-new Seafoam Sword Song.
Oh my, what beautiful colors. The aroma is perfect, and I can smell the alcohol. Give me a moment to... I know it's unbecoming of a lady, and... but... can you mix me another? Whatever. I feel fantastic. I think I'm gonna head home and... don't worry about me. This is... By the time I've gone a few rounds with that, Miss... Jean. The acting grandmaster. I won't be forgetting this in just...